I'm going to read 3 poems today. I have been just going through things that I've written and thinking about where they come from. My sister gave me some makeup. I like it. It's also a sweater from her. She's my hero. I love her. This first one is an acrostic poem, and I was thinking about some trauma that I'd been through in the past. And at this point, I was not ready to process and move forward in my life. So I wrote it down so I could put it away somewhere. Since I've dealt with since then, loathing orgasm, needing eternity, loving you, rage and punishment, escapism, violent inside, claiming touches of mayhem mine. I wrote that because there was a lot of rage and there was a lot of violence when I wasn't willing to deal with things I've been through in my life. And I was kind of afraid. I was afraid once I did some healing, what is there after it all? This next one is about a friend of mine who'd been through some abuses as well. And unfortunately, his way out of it was suicide. And with a global pandemic going on, I'm just really hoping that people are watching out and reaching out to their friends. Once you deal with trauma, especially multi-generational lineal trauma, and you learn how to open up and reach out to people, a global shutdown can be a really scary thing. So I hope everybody's watching out for other people who they care about. It's about a friend of mine who committed suicide years ago. Eyes look beyond you and mouth waters, tingling and trickling, creating within old sensations from tantalizing addictions. Eyes roll upward, and light flashes through the rippling dark. Storm rages and blows you over with powerful, cool, tormenting domination. Thunder echoes and you're laughing, holding on to sanity with only a thin thread of hope, stitching urgent desires and fulfillment into one, with the warmth and content you find, my love, in flesh and blood. He was a really good person, and his parents had been forced to go to residential school, and there was addictions, not only that he took part in himself when he was older, but that he grew up in. And it can just be a really dangerous place for a child. And like that first poem that I wrote, we don't all come equipped to deal with things as soon as we become an adult. We heal when we're ready, and he wasn't ready, and that was his out. I miss him and I love him, and I still think he was brave, even though that was the route that he took. This one is one that I wrote about predators. And this was written sometime while I was dealing with traumas and figuring out how I was going to, whether or not I was going to voice my healing journey. Because like that last poem that I read, we don't all get to. This one is about predators. You are one who is everywhere, in every job, in every color skin, in every religion, through every neighborhood. I have known others like myself who have dodged you and fought you. I am the woman you choose to know nothing about, and you call to me, like an animal who has been tamed and starved for affection. I see the cheapness in your humanity with the flash of your dollar bills. I am a mother, sister, wife. I see you prey upon weaknesses in me, then run and hide behind your profession, the law, medicine. You hide behind your religion. To me, you are what I've come to know as a child molester and rapist. My lessons from you have run deep and hit hard enough to bring devastation and destruction upon my foundations. My unhappiness and disappointment in you go unspoken. Much of my time is spent on filtering you from myself whilst I seek a good partner. Your weaknesses are many, and in the end in the being of one who knows not the meaning of self-respect. Respect is not given to others if not self first, and your weaknesses and pleas will not earn my respect of you. I see you standing tall, held up by falsities, God's trophy to a failed society. I was pretty specific when I write, I mean the words that I use. I wrote God's trophy to a failed society because the aberration of the acceptance of the amount of violence and dehumanization, even with each other, since residential school and colonization. And a lot of people who really, really hurt and do a lot of damage to other people are held up high, and they're seen as medicine people and as healers because they've stopped drinking or they've stopped hurting people. But there's a real freedom for other people who've been hurt to get something as simple as an apology, and for someone to recognize the damage that's been done. And it's been a struggle to let go of the terror, because I thought that I needed rage to continue in my life. And it turns out that I like to surrender to my creator. I like to surrender to Ka'akukpi. I like to trust that my path is laid out already by Ximagat Sigadam Ana and by ancestors who love me from the other side. And none of my life has been my plan. I don't think ill of people who've hurt me. I feel bad for people who can't see the truth, and I feel bad for people who can't live the truth. And what people choose to see and what people choose to believe, it's not my journey, because I know who I am and I know where I come from. And I know that what my ancestors were put through with smallpox blankets and not being allowed to leave the reserve, with having their status taken away for marrying somebody who is Caucasian, with Something as simple as a name change. I was born with a different last name, and I changed it. I went through a legal name change probably about 10 years ago, and it's given me so much peace just to know that my last name is now my matrilineal traditional last name. There's peace in knowing that if that's a truth that I can physically, tangibly hang on to, if that's the only truth that I get that day, physically in this physical world, that's more than enough for me. And truth be told, I'm kind of spoiled because, like the second poem said, not everybody makes it. I have real faith in the fact that we're living in a world where our women are returning. And I just really want to support somebody where they are in their journey. Some people aren't ready to quit drinking. Some people aren't ready to know what all the truths were where they grew up. Some people aren't ready to give up the rage. I wasn't ready until a couple of years ago, and I'm now 46. I'm 46 years old now. I'm just learning about peace. I'm just learning to surrender my demons, my colonial demons, to my ancestors, because some of them were like my friend in the second poem, and they didn't survive whatever they were being put through. So there's some love on this earth, 90 million ancestors strong. That's the dirt, is made of the blood of people who look like me. And there's peace in that, there's strength in that for me. And I know that there are people who are not ready, and there are people who are ready and they're scared. And it's okay to be scared. As usual, I just want to say that I see you and I think you're beautiful. And if you need to cocoon, you cocoon, baby. If you've got big wings that you're afraid to show off, you go flutter around, do your thing. It's a good time right now, like I said in my first video, to speak your truth. And I'm here to rise and I'm here to speak. And I want to let you know that I see you and I think you're beautiful. And I was so terrified of healing, and everything I wanted was on the other side of it. So I wish you all a safe day.